trying to understand mechanics. In this video there will be a lot of stops. I will try my efforts to explain everything with textual and vocal. So here for an assassin, as you saw right away, I applied my 5 stacks, poison. I already had soul burn, and I procced my V for my bracelet power. Q. And then just simply right here you can either stun, and if you have a good team, usually they'll stun with you, and you'll just pick them up and start applying 1, as you'll see here. Get ready to Q again. Just avoid that. Make sure you're applying stacks. There you go, we stunned him before he did the attack. Keep applying your 1. Now getting to this part where it says Naryu guards are created. You can either help the tank, you know, with 1 or 2, but it's better to do 1 and then have 1 on you just in case your team fucks up the other ones, because if you can at least have 1, there's a chance you can recover. So as you'll see here, I just do my 2, do a knockdown, quick left. Stand in the middle, by the way, as I did there. That way, no matter if he pulls the one to the left or to the right of you, you have 1 to go to. So right there, as you saw, I placed mine, and it's a perfect circle. I mean, it's not even over here in this part, but it touches the minion over here, and it touches the leg on this side. So here, just keep DPSing, avoid hammers. In regards for hammers, you always want to make sure that, you know, someone like number 6 is doing it. And these punches, please, I will stop the video here. Never be the one far away, especially as a melee. You will make your whole team wipe. If you get 5 stacks of this and you take all of the punches, you immediately wipe like a few seconds right after. So unless you're like at 2 million and you take them all or something, okay, cool, maybe. But you can cause your entire team to wipe. This happens a lot in hard mode. I don't suggest you doing it. Just stay next to your tank, stay next to wherever. If you have people turned off like I usually do, you can just go to their name and everything will be okay. Once you get in the C, we lined him up properly. Ready for the explosion. He takes his good amount of damage right there. Finish the clear and go. Careful with those. If you're just stuck in place, there's invisible walls, and on your screen you stopped walking. I mean you just can't run anymore, but on other people's screen you just stopped, so you're just wasting stamina. Should this happen on this corridor or the last corridor? For these, if it's you first, you can always group them up, start applying your 4 and your Z, and just start DPSing down, and then your team will show up to help you. As you see with this one, our DPS was really high. We recruited for 950 plus AP. If you're a VP, usually you just want to do it with 900 people, 900 AP. You do get a few people who are just, shitters, but besides that, I mean, there's nothing really you can really do. Either just leave if it's a really hardcore trap run, or continue. It's really up to you. Here for this boss, I'm gonna stop this really quick. As you see, we have a number 3, Blade Dancer. The Blade Dancers have the ability to pick up a boss if it's stunned or, if I'm correct, dazed. So if you guys do it properly, when he opens his CC bar, you can apply usually the first 2 stacks or the last 2. But you want to do it before he does that big red AoE, so that if he does, you guys can start applying more damage. And it's actually beneficial too in this boss and the last boss. As you saw right there, I applied my 2 stuns, and then somebody's going to follow up before the AoE. And that was a perfect rotation of what to do right there in that situation for this boss, the last boss, or any boss in general. Watch out for the tail swipe. Usually if you have enough block or evade, you can just evade it or block it. Right here again, I wasn't in stealth. I should have queued that right there. Stay away from these circles as an assassin. See how I perfectly stood here in between both? Do not kick there. I meant to tab kick this kick to do my a stun, but that was my bad right there on that part. As you saw, whenever you get that chance to do that Q right there, you definitely want to. He's going to do the instant drop too. You can either back out of it, so just hold S, or SS, or E, it's up to you. Remember, no matter what build you're playing, whether it's lightning or dark build, you always want to have 5 stacks. Always. Also, a good tip for assassins or anyone with bracelet power. Usually, your bracelet power, if you have dragon, it procs on your V. So my badge as well as my bracelet icon's not there. But if you have someone like a KFM or another assassin who also procs their V, you can still be selfish and proc your V to get your buffs out too. Just so you guys know. I mean, it's kind of like a waste if you guys wanted to back-to-back blue buff. But I mean, if it's, if it benefits your DPS and they're already both active, then I mean, I'd usually just do it myself. Here, as you saw, I'll rewind that a little bit. I did my kick like I was meant to. I went into stealth and applied that stun. Wait for pickup. Oh, no, somebody kicked him up. That was my bad on that one. Rip. Oh, I looked up to Discord. Fuck. So, I know people have questions about this part right here. So I'm just going to skip to that part really quick. Watch this. So we begin. She begins her 2 slashes. Start applying stacks. Boom. On this first circle, you want to apply your Q. Boom. That second circle, just right there. 1 second. Let's do this again. Boom. She does the first one. The second one, you don't have to do anything to it. Anything to it. I didn't take no damage, nor did I take any debuff from it, right? Now this last circle, you want to hit E. I think I just did. Watch. I did E on that. You turn around, you apply your star if you remember to. And you keep DPSing. Whenever it comes to, if it's not at 70%, if it's not at 70 or 30%, you always want to stun. Always. And if you have a good team like us, we didn't have any stacks. You always want to have stuns. He will pick up, as you will see in a second. Remember, wherever the first one is, as soon as it pops, you can already step on it. As soon as it pops. Now, in this one, I was designed to be the mark. Trying to understand the mark or trying to teach the mark is a bit difficult. But people usually say that there's all these circles, this and this. They try to make it overly complicated. It's really simple. As an assassin, you can avoid being the mark half the time, but usually it'll be the tank. So if it is on you, it's just going to be on you, no big deal. You just go to the black circle. Here, as you see, I'm at the rim. I was the designated mark. We already had 2 teams. This was our second run with this team. So I was marked the previous, I think it was 2 runs. So here we go. Watch. I'm at the rim. Whenever you start seeing that these waves are closing in, that's when you want to start applying your 2. As you see, you only have 1.5 seconds. You're going to proc your 2, your second 2, right now. As long as your arms are still in the air, you'll you'll either block it properly or you won't. Now here, if I'm correct, I think I did do it properly. I did, as we see the thing, but I took myself out of stealth. You always want to take yourself out of stealth immediately. So as you look at the back of the masks, they're looking at the tank. If it was looking directly at you, what you want to do is if you're Mark II, you can just move left or right, and if it moves, like wiggles with you, then you know it's you. So I'm not the tank. I'm getting a halt to my pad. And boom. Immediately here, if you can either stand at the circle. At the circle, I will apply this in the video. There would be a circle. In the circle, if you can stand on this edge, on the closest edge to your right or the closest edge to your left, so that no matter where Zonos is, you can hit one to dash in and apply stun. The other way you can is if you're lacking stuns is you can spec your C to have stun. But if you do your C, it will be a problem in this next phase. As you saw right there, I got there in time. I hit one, and then I hit my left click to apply stun. You just DPS it for a little bit. Keep going. Now watch this. Now, like I said, if you have your C spec to stun and you don't have anyone with Hong Moon block or something, you will take it, and it hurts. Your C as an assassin will protect you just about anything in this game. So there you go, and just keep going. But this team was, like I said, was already 2 or 3 runs in. This was the last one, and here we go with this. Also, taking those slashes, you can definitely hit 2 and avoid the stacks, but I didn't. So you definitely want to there.
Hey, what happened?
Here we go again. I took some hits there, that's fine. I'm at 3 stacks. Now, here, like I said, first circle, Q. That second circle, you're going to take it. It doesn't do anything to you. The third one, you're going to apply E. As soon as that second one, count like 1 Mississippi bounce. Go, hit E. And then you start turning around and start DPS and get out of the way for the big white light. That white light will apply stacks. Keep DPSing. Also, if your tank is moving him a lot, then there's a chance that Zanos will skip the full CC bar. I don't know if this happens here. No, it doesn't. So if he would have made him bounce from like this corner to that corner of the map, he would have avoided the whole CC rotation, so he would have just skipped it. So if the less we can move him, the better for your team. Once again, Q. Take that first one, second one, E the third one. Here she'll open for stuns. No, you see what I mean? He made her bounce a little bit too much. And so that will force your team to not get a CC window. And no CC window. So now, if that happens also, you're going to go straight into a sacrifice phase. Sacrifice phase, if you can't avoid it, it's probably one of the worst things. It does apply tons of stacks. So if you're already like lacking DPS and you take that just cause, yeah, that's painful. No matter your X, it won't protect you. You're still going to get a stack. You won't take the damage, but you're going to get a stack. Sometimes depends. If you're doing hard mode, by the way, you definitely want to proc your C on that. It should be back up by the time you get to 30% or whatever. But if it's really close to 30%, I don't advise it, as the waves will kill you in hard mode. Here, our DPS was like superb, so we're at 24% as you see. It's going to go to her 30% phase now. I'm at the rim. Once again, if you want to block it, as soon as you see those waves, watch. You see those waves closing in, that's when you want to hit your 2. And your protection deco for your team. It's a tank, and you look away.
Hey,
I got blinded
what
there. Just follow the
happened?
names if you're not the mark. zoom in, and stun. Like I said, if you would have wasted your C, uh, you would suffer here. And this isn't hard mode, but hard mode will definitely smack you, either kill you if you don't have the points. All my points are into offense here. As you saw, he went down. Once again, just becomes pretty much rotation. Just dodge the two slashes, Q, take the second one, and then E the third one. Here we got to do as you saw, it was a small jump. If it would have been a bigger jump like the last one, we would have avoided this whole CC phase. You always want to pledge your stuns immediately as soon as that CC bar opens. Never do it too early. And that's technically how you do Sanos. Um, um, I remember I took that disc. Um, you definitely want to get familiar with those mechanics. Go in there if you have 900 AP. Sometimes if you're like a warlock, you get really lucky. You know, sometimes they'll take you with like 850. Um, you definitely don't. You know, you want to make a name for yourself, especially when you're doing Xanos. As you know, Xanos is a end game dungeon, and a lot of people run it with high AP. So if they kind of see that you're uh, not making the effort to learn the mechanics for your own, people won't necessarily run the dungeon with you. So I definitely recommend you studying the mechanics, whether it's through me, whether it's through guides, whether it's through just simply reading or asking a friend. Knowledge is power. So, good luck.